Welcome to this video on connecting the data with Tableau. You can download the dataset to follow along in your own copy of Tableau. Tableau can connect to many data sources. You will notice here in the Connect pane, we have a long list of network connections to all sorts of data sources, regardless of whether they are local files or database on premises or in the cloud. Today we'll be using the global Superstore Excel file available for download under this video. Superstore is a dataset of sales for a global retail chain that sells furniture, office supplies, and technology goods. Each row of data represents a single item in transaction. To connect to the Superstore file in Tableau, click on the Excel, and navigate to where you download the file and click to open. Now Tableau brings us to data source page. On the left we can see all the sheets in the Excel file. Sheets in Excel are treated the same as tables in database, and we can choose to connect to a single table or join multiple tables. Simply just drag a sheet to the canvas. Tables can be renamed simply by double clicking on the name. The menu brings up options related to data source. We can see the data down in grid, and there are lots of we can do on the screen. For example, if our column name aren't ideal, so we can double click and rename. Clicking on the data type icon allows us to change the default data type for the column. The drop down bar contains a whole menu of more advanced options as well. For more information how to shape your Excel and text files for analysis in Tableau, you can get our another video, which is data preparation video. A workbook can have a multiple data source. Just click the Add Data Source button, and not that clicking add will add another connection to the same data source, setting up a cross database join. For more information, also you can have a look at our database join videos. To add another data source entirely, use the new data source option in the toolbar. To connect a locally saved extract when connecting to data, choose other files. Then simply navigate to the extract on the machine. To connect to a data source your organization has published to Tableau Online or Tableau Server, choose Tableau Server and enter your credentials. We are clicking to Tableau Server, and this will show you every data source you have access to. As a note, you won't see the side pane when connecting the data source from Tableau Server or Tableau Online because the data source is predefined. But for now, I will connect the database directly, and please note that you will not be able to follow along here unless you have access to the database. I enter relevant connection information at this point. I can select from any of schema. I have permission to access on the server. Then I will choose FAA, and here is the table in the database. We can rename the connection here. I'll call this fight data. Something to consider before we are beginning analyzing our data is if we want to connect leave or extract. Connecting live leaves the data in the database or source file. This is the best when we want to leverage a high performance database capabilities or to get up to the second change in data visualized in Tableau. That being said, sometimes connecting live can result in a slow experience depending on the database. The other option is to extract data into Tableau's high-performance in-memory data engine. This can help when connecting a slow database or to take care of a lot of critical system. We can also choose to only import some of data and bring in specific elements. To access those options, we can click the Edit. When we are ready to get work, click on the sheet 1 at the bottom. Know that we connected. I'm going to switch all the data source that you have access to. We can easily toggle between data source here at the top the data pane, and we can see our column names here broken up into dimension and measures. If you want to look at our data, say sales by order date, then drill down to get quotas, and maybe put year and color. It's that easy. What if we realize we need to bring in additional data? We need to add our data source. With the data source we want to modify, select it, click on the data source tab at the bottom, and let's join our returns table to the others table. The icon here indicates Tableau has automatically joined these tables as an inner join. Click on the join icon to show the details. That default join clause is shown here. Tableau has figured out that order ID is a common file between these two tables. So if we desire, we could edit the join clause or even create a new one. Right now, the join type is an inner join. For this data, we could also select a left join, right or full outer joins also be available if your data source support them. For more information about joins, you can have a look at our joins section. And now I just choose the left and close the dialog. Again, we can verify the data down here. It's look good. So we will click back onto our sheets down here at the bottom. We now have columns from both orders and returns in our data source, and we can see which column headers are showing up under which table.